Yo, what is up, party people? This is Rob with Tricks Trading Co. back at you with another Tricks Trading Co. YouTube video. Today we have a Pokemon deck profile on Hydrapple EX. Excuse me. I've been actually using this deck quite a bit, and I think that it has major potential, especially with rotation coming up, the introduction of Badoo, and all this other really cool, fun stuff that makes this deck actually start to function as it should. When Hydrapple first came out, people got excited, but it happened to be a little bit of a brick situation when it came to your hand, but Badoo helps, and the format's a little slower. So let me show you what I have and see if we can't maybe make a little bit of a difference from the normal everyday meta decks that we're seeing out there. So first off, of course, you run 3 Hydrapple EX. This has the ripening charge. This is once during your turn, you may attach a basic grass energy from your hand and heal for 30 damage. And you can attach to any Pokemon. It doesn't have to be Hydrapple. So super beneficial for your bench to try and get rid of maybe some Munkidori damage or whatever is hurting your bench. Of course, double-edged sword. Since there is Badoo, we do want to not get item locked and slow down our Hydrapple, so I do run 2 Diplin. Now this is the Festival Lead Diplin with the Do the Wave. Festival Leave, of course, this makes it to where you can use this attack twice. Do the Wave is 20 damage for each of your benched Pokemon. So if you have a full bench without any stadiums in play, this will do 100 twice, so 200 total. And then, of course, we play the 4 Applin. Good basic Pokemon. You want to play 4 of them. You want to be able to get to Hydrapple. We do run Rare Candy, so that will also be beneficial. The goal is to get Hydrapple out and get him charged up with as much grass energy as you can on the field, or him directly, and his 330 HP really helps keep him out there and aware. So we'll set that to the side. For some support Pokemon that we play, we do run 4 Tealmass Ogerpon for obvious reasons. We have Teal Dance, attach a basic energy from their hand to this card, and then you get to draw. So we're milling through the deck. We're also running into more grass energy, and you'll kind of see the momentum of this deck as we continue going. It also can be a pretty decent attacker when it needs to be, and can be beneficial in early game or against any type of dark matchup for the most part. And then of course we do run Fezidipity EX. This is for draw support when taking a knockout. It also has a colorless charged attack if worse comes worse and we have to use it. Good support Pokemon. And then of course we run 2 Badoo. This is going to help with Itchy Pollen, item locking the opponent, slowing down the pace of play, giving us time to build up all the energies that we need to build up and also evolve into our Hydrapple. So that is the Pokemon lineup for this Hydrapple EX deck. Now we'll get into, we do run 2 of the Festival Grounds. This is for the Diplin. It also helps with recover from special conditions and makes it to where you can't be affected by special conditions in general. So decent stadium. It also, in this current format, I always recommend running at least 1 or 2 stadiums to knock out other stadiums. There's a lot of stadiums that are starting to become quite annoying. So we do run 2 of these Festival Grounds. Another really important card, probably the most important, would be Bud Catching Set. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and then you get to pick a grass Pokemon or a grass energy, and then basically put them into your hand and play them how you will. Super good to get additional Pokemon out on the bench that you maybe don't have or haven't been able to draw into or find, but also super beneficial to get additional energy. That's the whole point. We're trying to get energy. I do run one switch. This isn't a 100, this is a, we'll talk about this towards the end, but this is a interchangeable card. I prefer using switch and playing switch due to some of the play styles and strategies that I like to use, but it is not, it can be moved around. 2 Earthen Vessel, this is definitely a really important card. This is going to help you get your energies as much as possible. It also, you can be smart with it. If you want to do a big brain plane, discard your energy and then get 2 energies and then use a Night Stretcher to get your energy back out. 2 Ultra Ball, for obvious reasons. Get your Pokemons out into you as fast as possible. 2 Night Stretcher. Get those energies and Pokemons back into your hand. 4 Rare Candy. Of course, trying to get Hydrapple out as quick as possible and as many as possible, because you can use multiple ripening charges. So 4 Nest Ball, this is mainly to get your Bidoos, your Pheasantipity, and your Ogerpons. And then we do run Max Rod. Now, we'll take a second and talk. I like the way Max Rod plays in this for, you know, it's a good way to just get a bunch of cards back into the hand, but it's also a really good way to kind of get out of a pinch late game. And if you're forced to, you can't maybe get into a Hydrapple and they've taken down your Hydrapple and you're forced to get into a Diplin and fill up your bench, or it's nice to get if they take down your Hydrapple that's fully built up, or they take down one of your Ogerpons that's fully built up, you can get all of your energies back out and just build up the other Ogerpons and the other Hydrapples and kind of make it to where you don't have so much of a damage discrepancy because they took out one of your Pokemon that had a lot of energy attached. It is interchangeable. A lot of people could probably run Prime Catcher. If you run Prime Catcher, I would probably take the switch out and run another energy. I have also played it that way and it works. So that is pretty much the item run. We'll get these out of the way. Now for your supporters, pretty basic lineup. We run 2 Boss's Orders. We run 3 Iono. We run 4 Arven. Arven, you're going to get your bug catching set, you're going to pull your rare candies, you're going to get your nest balls out or your ultra balls out, just, you know, basic use of Arven. We don't run any tools, so you're using it purely to grab items. Iono, you don't really want to discard a whole bunch with this deck, because once you really start rolling with your Ogerpons and your Pheasantipity, etc., you're actually going to start milling through the deck pretty quick. So you don't want to use Professor Research and throw a whole bunch of stuff into the discard pile and then also not have a whole lot of ways to get them out, with the exception of your Night Stretchers. So you want to just use Iono to keep cycling through hands. It also helps disrupt whatever your opponent's working on. And then Boss's Orders, for obvious reasons. If they see that you've built up a Hydrapple and they retreat trying to save, you can of course pull it back out or make big plays. Boss's Orders is always going to be a super important card. So that is that. And then you play 13 currently Grass Energy. If you do it with a setup with Max Rod. Again, if you switch out for Prime Catcher, you would definitely want to run the 14th energy just to play it safe and make sure that you have always the opportunity to either draw bug catching set or Ogerpon into an energy as quickly as possible. So that is it for Hydrapple EX. It does play pretty solid for as far as I can tell so far. I've done a few, I've done about 100 or so testing on TCG Live, and I've done a few in person, nothing competitive, and it has done extremely well. I've lost a few times to some very fire type heavy decks. So it does have, of course, 2 times weakness to fire. The way around that would be to utilize your boss's orders very smart, utilizes your switch that you have in here pretty smart, and to try and build up your ogre pawns so that whenever a Badoo or a Hydrapple gets knocked out, you can actually clean up and hit pretty hard with your ogre pawns. But you just have to be a little bit smarter and think through it a little bit more efficiently whenever facing your direct weakness or counter. However, Flareon's really popular in the meta right now, and it does handle Flareon pretty well. It takes down Dragapult really easily. Of course, it takes down Charizard, being Charizard's weak to us in general. It's doing pretty good with a bunch of all the EVs, really. You see a lot of EVs on TCG Live, at least. And then Archaludon, it does pretty good with. Raging Bolt's doing, usually takes the win with Raging Bolt. Terrapagos, it does pretty decent. I've played as, Sarah Ledge has done pretty all right. So I've played a few of these that I'm mentioning. I haven't played everything, of course. There's not every opportunity to play every deck in my local area or random chance online. But for the most part, all the stuff that you're seeing floating around in the meta, even, Ancient Box decks or Roaring Moon decks, it of course decimates and does extremely well. A lot of these big ball smoke Pokemon going around are actually dark types right now, so it does handle its own. I know we have some, with Journey coming out soon, we have some more fire type Pokemon coming out that could potentially slow us down a little bit, but I think I'm going to keep sticking with this deck. I'm going to keep tweaking it and kind of playing around with it even after rotation in April, and I think it's going to be a pretty viable rogue deck in general, and I think it's going to hold its own. It's a heavy hitter. It can pretty much KO anything if you build the board correctly, and it's hard to take out. A lot of times it takes 2 attacks to even take Hydrapple out unless you're dealing with your weakness. So that's pretty much a recap and overview of Hydrapple EX. I hope you guys learned something from this or enjoy this video. If you have any other questions or requests as to what you would like to see next, please don't forget to comment down below. And if you liked the video, then please like the video and consider subscribing. It is free and it shows me that you guys care. Without further ado, this has been Tricks Trading Co. with another video. And as always, peace and love.